It's no bother. What a signature scent is a fragrance that is uniquely you, that ties into who you feel like you are, the fragrance that represents yourself. Yes. Well, I'll tell you what. Since you do not have a signature scent, why don't we just do a bit of a tour? I will show you some of our greatest and best, arguably, offerings, and you can let me know yourself if you like them. We'll set them to the side, maybe come back to them in a bit. If you don't, we can discard them. What do you think? Wonderful. Well, heavens, I would not expect you to remember all of them, so we do have some tester strips, a great deal of tester strips, but I know we will not need them all. And of course, I have a pen here. I don't know if even I could guess which one is which. Should we have 20 strips slain before us? Why don't we just start with 4 or 5 and see where we go from there? Wonderful. Well, we are getting into spring, and with spring has a certain type of fragrance that you want to wear more frequently. Aromatic fragrances, aquatic, what they call ozonic, meaning of the earth, water, florals, trees, fougere, and citrus and fruity notes. I'll tell you what, let's see how refined your palate is. This first one is our greatest selling fragrance, but do not let that fool you into thinking it is the greatest one that we have. That is going to be purely subjective and up to you. This is a fragrance called Sauvage, and this is our greatest seller. One of the coolest features that I do enjoy on this fragrance is its magnetic cap. And we should give it a spray here. We'll give it 2, why not? And this is going to be our eau de toilette, which is a type of concentration, certainly one of the lowest. You will sample now. Before we smell it, we must let it get just a breath to burn some of that alcohol off. Rich citrus awaits you, and in a bed of somewhat masculine but also mass appealing for unisex wearers, or at least unisex and feminine enjoyers of masculine fragrance. Woodsy notes in the mids and the base. Yes, a beautiful aroma, of course. However, if blues, aquatic notes are your thing, we have many to pick from. If citrus is your thing, we have show you this one. This is a fragrance that is very unique. The one thing that I most fear about you in regards to Sauvage is the fact that it is such a popular fragrance, trying to find you a signature scent that isn't so popular. It would not truly be a signature scent if you smelled like every other person, now would it? So, no, this next one is a common, but not nearly as much. This is from Coach. This is Coach Green. What makes this fragrance so different? Its opening note lies a kiwi. A very obscure note for fragrances. And, well, I don't believe that I have another one that utilizes this note, so let's go ahead. We give it 2 sprays, and just as last time, we shake. Yes, are you getting that as well? So wonderful, wonderful. This actually has not so much of that lingering alcohol opener you'll see typically. As the prices go up, so does the quality, and we have less of that defensive opener. Indeed. I'm glad you recognize that. Set that to the side, of course. Allow me to utilize the pen. And this one will be quite simple. Coach. So we have C-O-A-C-H. Coach. We have Coach off to the side. Well, let's continue now with our more citrus, spring, and summer-friendly fragrances. We have from a marvelous house, Yves Saint Laurent, and this is a fragrance that has a bit of an unusual name. This is myself. I told you. A very unusual name indeed. Now this is a black bottle, which would typically indicate more spice, more vigor, more rich depth and complexity, but it actually is not that. Citrus leaning, more masculine, granted, but a mass appealing, well-rounded fragrance. I think one will do it on that one. Some of these atomizers, sprayers, if you will, perform a little bit better than others. Ah, yes, you have that bergamot, which is a type of lemon, but you also have this richness, this muskiness, this manliness that definitely pushes it more unisex than feminine. But enough of me droning. I'm not trying to pick it for you. It is your decision after all. Sample this, will you? Yes. It dries down even richer and more complex, if you can believe that. Tell me, what do you think of that compared to the Coach fragrance? It certainly is much more complex. Should I make a notation and write it down for you? Wonderful. This one will be easy as well. I'll just do a Y as such. 2 down. Now, I do have a couple of kind of what you would call in between fragrances. I might even refer to these as multi-season fragrances, perhaps 4-season fragrances, meaning that while they do have levity and playfulness that you would see in the spring or the summer, they can also be worn in fall as well. Let me show you what I mean. Certainly from the first spray of one of these, it will be easier to understand. This one is from a Regal house, Perfumes de Marly, and this is what they call Leighton. An interesting house. This house names all of their fragrances after horse breeds, fictional and real, of course. The one I am most referencing is Pegasus, but this is Leighton, and there is a whole lot in this particular house. This is what they call a niche house, and what that means is that they only make fragrances. Everyone thus far have been manufacturers of garments, of fancy linens, clothes, bags, but niche houses, all they do is create fragrances for you. Enough talking, though. Certainly you will want to smell this wonderful creation. And sample it we must. And these atomizers, a little bit better, a little bit stronger. And we'll do one more. Right off the top, you get a massive bit of a mentholated hit. See if you can tell. Yes, but wholly different from like a Vicks or type of medicinal smell, because there exists over 20 different notes in this, including citrus, musk, woods, but also animalic fragrance notes as well, like civet, which, while now illegal to include in these fragrances, have to be synthesized, but still an incredible fragrance nonetheless. Yes, I was quite overtaken with it as well on my first go. I'm sorry, I'm hoarding it. Yes, this one definitely gets written down. You are the boss. And I will simply notate this one as a PDM. As such. Next, I do have one more in regards to a more rigorous, energetic, citrus-based opener. This one is, again, by another niche house. Another one of my bestsellers as well, there is no doubt about that. This is from the House of Creed, another regal, royal British house, and this is Aventus. This is definitely one of the top grossing fragrances, but is a tad more expensive than something like Sauvage, which leads it to this one, I feel like I will not introduce to you, but merely let it rest on its laurels and let you experience it without any warning. A new bottle. Certainly you are one of the first to sample from this bottle. How exciting. Yes, invigorating, energetic, is it not? Smoky opener with that powerful pineapple citrus, resonant, complex in the base and the mids. Certainly a favorite among those who desire to purchase and desire to spend. There is a difference between affordability and willingness to pay what it costs. Many can afford, not as many will be willing to pay it. This is certainly a fragrance that fetches a premium. What premium that may be is the question. $280 for you. That's not what you were looking to spend. That's no problem. For heaven's sakes, we can get you out the door with a wonderful fragrance for much cheaper than this. I will put this to the side. Well, this is what we have so far. We have Leighton, Yves Saint Laurent, and Coach Green. This is what we have for our Fougere, our green, our citrus, spring, and summer fragrances, but that's not all now, is it? No, we have an entire realm unexplored. Fall fragrances, winter fragrances, and my personal favorite, which is called Gourmand or Gourmand. Sweet, sensual. They are fragrances that you would wear perhaps on a date night or an elegant occasion, and well, you may have more than one signature scent. Why don't we explore them, shall we? Yes, now, you have already said this is a little bit out of your price range, and this is even more expensive than the grade, though I feel I would do you a tremendous disservice by not showing you at the very least. This is from the house of Initio. This is a fragrance called the Side Effect. And this fragrance truly embodies what Gourmand is. I still have it fixed to my skin as we speak. This is a tobacco, rum type, cinnamon base. A gorgeous, luxurious $320 fragrance. Yes, indeed. let's go into a couple of things a little bit more along that price range, shall we? What about 2 notes that you will either love or you will despise with a great passion? And those notes, leather and oud. Agawood is what they call it. It's a Middle Eastern note ingredient, but let's explore. The leather do you like? Leather do you fancy? Leather? Yes and no. Well, let's try it. You will know quite soon after the application of this whether that is something that you enjoy. This is from the house of Tom Ford. This is ombre leather. This is a very, very rich leather fragrance. However, it is offset by some fruity notes as well. If you do not like this leather, then you will not really enjoy leather-based fragrances. However, there are a lot of leather fragrances, and then there's a lot of fragrances that use leather. There's a difference. This is a leather fragrance. There are many fragrances that have it as a base note to where it's not so strong. This is not one of those. I will only spray it once in case you truly detest it. Very simplistic packaging always. Tom Ford always. Prepare yourself for this one. You don't know what to think. Neither did I when I first tried it. Again, a bit of a disservice, as this truly does need to resonate with skin to really come out. One more. It will only grow in bitterness and complexity as it sits. Those sweet notes will start to die away. Yes, perfectly fine. I do, however, wonder though if you might have a propensity to enjoy another type of what we call divisive fragrances, meaning not everybody likes these notes. This, again from Tom Ford, is a type of oud. This is oud. Wood, again, offset by a good deal of pleasant, woody type of aromas and also a bit of sweetness mixed in. ratio. This is from the house of Killian. This is Angel Share. An incredible name and an incredible fragrance. Any time that you see a gorgeous amber liquid, at least I know I'm in for a real treat. This is a boozy, complex, sweet, cinnamony, praline type fragrance. And that atomizer. Oh, don't worry. You did not make it angry. It's always like that. Prepare yourself for this one. Yes. At last we have one then. Melting away. Should I notate this one and put it away? Wonderful. I shall simply mark this with a K, and I always forget if there's one or two L's. Simply one I-L-A and N. Killian. I do have one that is more of a fall-based fragrance and is not going to break the bank in no way. Do you have to spend $1 million to smell like it? In this one, as from the house of Victor and Rolf, this is Spice Bomb. Extreme performer, extreme projector, extreme compliments headed your way. Allow me. Now, perhaps at a bit of a disservice to spray it so near to Angel Share, but try to clear your palate and sample this magnificent fragrance. Spice indeed, but do you get the vanilla? Yes. It will also come out after a bit. Notate it. You got it. Spice Bomb. There's no real short way to annotate this. S B I C E B O M B. Now that is all of them, and it appears that we have 4 of them at your fancy. However, you did say that the Perfumes de Marly was a little bit too expensive, so we have Coach Saint Laurent, myself, Killian's Angel Share, and Spice Bomb. Very, very different. The Coach, the myself, the Killian, and the Spice Bomb. Here's the Coach once more. Performing even better, you say? Myself. Oh, that's no problem. So Coach better than Saint Laurent. Fair enough. Killian. It does, but it performs better on skin as well as this one. The Killian, I do warn you, is in excess of 200, around 215. Wonderful. Yes, okay, well, for sure then, Coach. Yes, a mighty choice, a mighty choice. to wear this out. Wonderful. A good place to spray. The wrists and the neck. Shall I spray? Of course. One more. Well, I will go and package this up for you. I will be right back. It has been my pleasure serving